Cheers, guys. Quick slap of tea. Thursday night, live from the Scout Hall. Hello, it's what is it? Exactly 6:31. As we join Scouts tonight here in West London. Oh man, I need a cup of tea. Lovely. Lots of things happening this week. Beavers are psycho tonight. They're super loud. So if you hear lots of screaming, it's because beavers are on. Let's just see. Linda, just wave back. I'm waving back to you, Linda. Hello. Nick's in the house. Hello, Nick. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Good to see you. Ian's tuning in from Canada. Let's see how international we can get tonight. We've got Canada. Normally, Harold will tune in. Perfect timing. Harold tunes in from Canada as well. 1:30 in the afternoon. We had India last week, I do believe. Let's see if we can get further across. Let's see if we can get to New Zealand, Australia. I have no idea what time it is there, but let's see what we can do. Leo's tuning in. Leo, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. So, what's happening this week? I want to talk about Diwali. I've been invited to this county event, which is kind of cool. I want to talk about my new NECA that I've got, and also a question that was posed to me during the week from Arkayla, and she needs some help, and we're going to talk about that in just a short while. Hev's here. Hey, man, can start with a brew. Watching from Worcestershire. The trouble is, the brew is empty. I got no one here tonight. No one's gonna make it. Simon, hey, how are we doing, guys? It's all good. Right, so let's see what I want to talk about today. So I just got to get it up. So the new Scout launch in the Scout shop. We got lots of things last week. We talked about the Happy Face, and that's officially been launched. With all the we talked about it thinking it was LSD. The old trippy, smiley, happy face and the yellow face, and how bizarre it is that the Scout shop has teamed up with them. But that's been officially launched, and I've seen a whole lot of stuff over first Facebook this week. Lots of things like that. But one thing that actually was really cool, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you saw it. That I think it was 20 young people went up to Bear Grylls Adventure, and they got some awards for saying well done and doing their best and going over and beyond was the quote from Bear Grylls. David, hey David, how you doing? And he launched a new badge that you can get, and was lucky enough. I got some sent to me just before, and one of them is the NECA that I'm wearing tonight. This kind of lovely purple and orange. It's not orange, but a bit of a burnt orange. I'm not sure if that's what you discuss it, but it's all good. I've got to say hello to my little monkeys, Grace and Thomas. They're tuning in from home. Hey guys, how you doing? We're going to talk about Thomas and his beaver journey as he's progressing. He got another badge this week, so he's super happy. But yeah, I got this new NECA and a new badge sent to me. Thank you from Bear, and it's a new range of badges that are coming from the Scout store, and I got a really lovely pin badge just like this, using Bear's quote, never give up. So you can give those out. You can get a pin badge like this one, which I've attached to my hat, or you can get a camping badge, and also this NECA is available, and you can give them out to young people, and that's available on the Scout store as well. It's a lovely NECA. It is, but I realize I haven't ironed it, so it's not as neat as it should be, but it's one of those things. So yeah, that's now available on the Scout store. And we were just talking about it last week, and it's blown up on the internet about how Scout store are teaming up with different licenses and new things. We've had Shaun the Sheep, that was last year. We had Lego about 5 years ago. Who else have we had? Whole load of stuff. So it's all about raising money and raising the brand and stuff like that for Scouts. Your views, it's up to you, isn't it? If you don't like it, you don't have to purchase it. No one's telling you to do it. But one thing I want to talk about tonight is about Diwali. I was invited along next Sunday. If you're in Greater London, Middlesex West, and you're a leader, there's a big event happening to celebrate Diwali, the celebration of life. Let me shuffle over here. So yeah, if you're a member of Greater London, Middlesex West, they're doing it, and I'm just going to show you the screen. and it's for leaders, and it's going to be food, it's going to be dancing, and celebrating the Festival of Light with a big firework show. Let me just share my screen. So if you are, like I say, if you're a member of Great London Motorcycle West, it's a free event. It's in Headstone, Harrow, next Sunday from 6 p.m. in the evening till 10 p.m. celebrating Diwali and the Festival of Light. It's a free event, but unfortunately, it's only for leaders. So it's not for your family. You can't take your little ones. And even if your little ones are in part of the movement, unfortunately, can't. It is, as I say, it's a leader event. But I'm gonna go. It's gonna be really, really cool. Yes, Ange, that's what I was thinking. Hello Kitty. I couldn't think of it. I wouldn't say Pokemon, but it wasn't Pokemon. And Smurfs. Yes, of course, Smurfs. Hello Kitty. My request was asked earlier on, and it's been granted. I wonder if we can get someone from Australia, New Zealand. And Zara is tuning in from Queenstown, New Zealand. Zara, lovely to have you here. Zara, out of interest, what time is it in New Zealand right now? Here in London, it is 25 to 7 in the evening. See, they say that, isn't it? Asking you will get. So yeah. So going back to what I was saying, if you are a member of Greater London Middlesex West, GLMW, and you want to celebrate Diwali, come and join this amazing free event. I'll be there along with many other people. And it's a free event. And if you're not in the county and you're doing a Diwali event, let me know and we can celebrate and spread the love and get some more people to your event. Oh, it's warm up in the loft tonight. It's freezing outside, but someone must have put the heating on. It's a bit warm up here. Yes. Zara is saying it's 6:38 a.m. So you're exactly 12 hours ahead of us. Not behind, ahead in New Zealand. That's cool. Thank you, Zara, for tuning in. That's brilliant. You are the furthest person to join Big Man in the Woods live. We've never had anyone from New Zealand joining us. It's always we've had a few people from Australia, but New Zealand, brilliant. Lovely to have you on board. Thank you very much. Right. So we've discussed the new badges and the new neck I've got. We discussed Diwali, and if you're in Greater London Middlesex West, I want to know if you're doing any celebrations for Diwali. Comment below, and we can share those events. And actually, what you're doing in your section, that'll be really cool. To show how you can incorporate it into Squirrels, Beavers, Cubs, Scouts, Explorers Network. How can we celebrate more of these inclusive events? You know, we should be celebrating religion, even if you're not religious yourself. But Scouting was set up as a Christian background, isn't it? And now we've got lots of different religions, and we should be opening to all and celebrate these things. So it'll be cool. My question that was said to me yesterday by an Arcala. Let me find the question. And it got me thinking about, actually, I'm going to save this. I'm going to do a vlog about this particular question that I was posed. And Arcala has asked me, what do you do when a cohort of Cubs that you really don't know what to do with are making you think about quitting? What do you do? And I got asked this when I was work, so I couldn't really think about it. And I've been thinking about what I would do and what I've done. And it's only happened to me once. I don't know. I'm trying to think about 6-7 years ago. I had a whole troop. There was a quite big gang of them, actually. There was about 5 or 6 of the Scouts that just came to Scouts and was just messing around. They just wanted to play. They didn't really want to be at Scouts as such. They weren't bothered about learning anything. They just wanted to play football or play dodgeball. That's all they wanted to be. And when we were trying to do some activities and badge work, they were just chit chat. Dan Hayden, man, good to see you. And Andy is in the building. Hey man, how you doing? So with those Scouts, I kind of spoke to him. I pulled them to one side and was like, guys, what's happening? Do you really want to be here? Do you honestly want to be here? And they were like, Mark, we want to be here, with our mates and stuff. I said, guys, you're ruining it for the other 20 Scouts or whatever was here. We went camping, and the same thing kind of happened. They weren't really bothered about learning camping skills. They didn't want to do anything. All they wanted to do was sit around in a tent and just mess around. Campfire, they just wanted to chit chat around a campfire. They didn't want to do anything. So basically, I gave them I'm trying to describe what I said, but basically I just said, do you want to be here? Because there's a waiting list. You don't have to be. If you want to play football, go down to the park. And if you just want to chit chat, then stay at home. And it went on like this for about 2 weeks. And I thought, actually, this is enough. I can't do any more of this. This isn't fair for the rest of the scouts. It's not fair for us as leaders who designed the program. And it's not fair to the people who are on a waiting list and they want to join scouts. You know what I mean? So I got their parents involved, and I said, this is the honest truth. I think, well, one, they don't want to be here. They've openly said they're only here because you the parents are telling them to go. So save yourself 40 quid a term and don't send them to scouts. They don't want to be here. It's wasting my time. It's wasting your time. It's wasting your money. That's it. End of. So that's the only time that I've had that. They've never made me want to quit, like a big gang of them. I made them quit. I gave them no leeway. I just said, that's it. Just go now. You don't want to be here. And the parents, they were unaware of all this kind of thing. So maybe opening up a bit to the parents, Arkela, and getting those parents involved, maybe inviting them down to Cubs and getting the parents involved, maybe even if it is just making brews for the leader and squash or whatever, and getting them involved in an activity or running Cubs or whatever. And maybe those Cubs will be a bit better behaved if one of the parents there. And if there's a group of Cubs, they're probably friends and they know that parent, so they might not be as naughty in front of that parent. And maybe the parents just aren't involved and they're not aware. Maybe they are aware of those Cubs and they might have ADHD. They might be hyper. There might be reasons that you as the Arkela, you're not aware of. And the parents can shine a little bit of light and say, actually, we know how to deal with this, and you should deal it in XYZ way. Guys, help me out. How would you answer this question to Arkela? Nick saying, yes, we have some scouts that only interest in football. Absolutely. Nick, we don't play football in my scout group. One, because I hate football, as you probably know. So football doesn't really interest me. There's a park down the road and they can play football at school and they can play the weekend. Why do they need to play at scouts? That's my view of it. We can play every now and then, but not all the time. Or what we do, tell a lie, we play table football. When you got the tables in the sides, in the corners, and they use those as goals. So it's not technically like football, but it's kind of thing like that. Leo, totally not fair on you as leaders there. Leo, it's not just about leaders. I think it's about the other young people that are attending that section as well. If they want to be in Cubs, in my case, it was scouts. They want to be there, but they're getting interrupted. The activities are being stopped. You've got games being stopped, all that kind of thing. So it's not, it is for the leaders who have prepped it or whatever, but it's also really annoying for the young people who, they want to be there. They want to be with their mates. They want to do skills for life. They want to learn these things. But it's not fair. Who else is in the building? La, hello, La. How you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, it's a hard one, Arkela, because there's a million and one reasons. Maybe they're just bored. Maybe your program is rubbish. Maybe your program isn't testing them. Maybe they've done everything, or the program that you're doing now just doesn't interest them. There are some things that are just boring, isn't it? For me, it's knots. Knots doesn't do anything for me. So if I was a scout and we got 2 weeks of worth of knots and we're just making, I'm just, knot board just over there. If they're making a knot board, you think, oh, this is boring. Just go and chat to my mate. And that's probably what I would do if I was in scouts. Or if they're making knots and it's not for a purpose, maybe what we do in scouts, we teach knots, we teach lashings, but we make them into chariots and then we race them around the scout hall and things like that. So maybe it is your program isn't challenging enough. So maybe get another leader from another group to look at your program. Maybe it's that, maybe it is. Maybe it's just that Cubs isn't for them and they're just there for their mates. Let's see what people are saying. Clive saying with scouts, we join with the young people, put a code of behavior together. Also have patrol competition with points awarded for good behavior, not deducted. Not deducted. Interesting. Why don't you deduct them, Clive? Peer pressure can be a good driver. Peer pressure, absolutely. But let's bring this into our Kayla's question about Cubs. Let's just try and answer that question. Andy actually is an Arcala. Let's see what Andy is suggesting. Simple on next time they go football training, take a load of bits and pieces, sit in the center spot, and demonstrate firelighting. Go! Oh, that'll be good. Derek, agree. Knots don't do it for me. Honestly, I do granny knots. That's all I do. Leo saying we're lucky with our group. Nothing like that. Obviously, some are more interested in other activity than others. One may hate knots but love science experiment and vice versa. Yep, good point. Good point. Clive, positive reinforcement. Derek, we do points with the winning patrol 6 and have a choice of the prize. Love it. Cool. Good point. Man is saying we've got 2 weeks of knots coming up for our clubs. Not consecutive weeks, though. We do try and make it as interesting as possible. I'm not saying knots is a bad thing. Like, don't say I'm against knots. What I'm saying is that some people just don't do it. Like me with Bush Scout, we have our topology, and I've spent many hours, many weeks watching the guys, and I'm still like, I can't do it. Paracord bracelet, doing the weaver. I think it's the weaver knot. Cobra knot. I just can't do knots. It just makes up into one big mess, and it's not. I was impressed. I made the little friendship lapel the other day. Actually, I was very impressed with that. But for me, I'm just not a knot person. And if you've got knots for no reason, then I don't know. Maybe that's the week I don't come to Scouts. Just going back to Leo's point. Just bear in mind that Leo is new to scouting. He's been as a young person, and now he's moved over to being a leader. These things will happen to you, Leo. I guarantee you, if you talk to all the leaders that are watching now, at some point they've gone through this time where they've got those young people that just don't want to be there. So at the moment, you got a lucky group. Absolutely. At the moment, my section is amazing. I love them, and I'm getting on well, and I'm clicking with them. But I've had troops just recently, pre-COVID, that I didn't click with, I didn't gel with. And when we went camping, they were going to bed really early. They weren't up for a laugh, you know. So at some point, it will happen to you. Believe me, it will happen. Peter saying, good evening. It's youth-led, very actually doing scouting. Sometimes we have to run a program that differs from what we want to do. Yeah, and that's all that U-Shape. I'm going to be doing a vlog about U-Shape and how you can encourage your young people to put the programs together. And yeah, absolutely. Dan, publish your program. That way, if there is something they're not interested in, they don't turn up and disrupt the others. Miss 4 weeks and they are out. Lovely. Beavers are shouting. We've done that. And Dan, that's really interesting because I used to do that back in when I started, 12, 13, 14 years ago, whenever it was. Beavers are getting in trouble tonight. I just chuckling. Yeah, so I used to do that in the back of the day, publish all my programs. And then I realized that they didn't turn up. So, I'd be running, I'm trying to think of what activity, and then the scouts, actually, that's really rubbish. We're not going to turn up to that one. So maybe that's probably a good reason, actually. Maybe we should start rethinking about publishing the program. But it's on OSM, isn't it? And parents can log in. So, yeah, it's a really hard one. Gustavo's in the house. Hello. Terry's in the house. Andrew, how you doing, man? It's all good. Miss Leo's one. Leo is saying, publish your program. That way, no, wrong one. This one. Our leaders make the program vary to cater for everyone. Plus, the young people get to put their ideas forward at the start of every term. Absolutely, Leo, you should. And that's all about U-Shape. We were just talking about it. I'm running troop forums and log choose if you're Beaver, Cub Packs. What do the Cub Packs call it? I'm trying to remember what the Cubs Pack call it. Can't remember what you're doing, Cubs. But yeah, getting their ideas. And that's how you should do your program, isn't it? And you get really good ideas. You might get badges that you're stuck in a rut that you repeat. You've done it for the last 4 or 5 years because you know it's really easy. You can turn up, and like tonight, I'm doing first aid. I don't even need to plan my first aid tonight because I know exactly what I'm going to do. So sometimes just asking the young people, actually, what badges do you want to do? And then trying to think outside the box. Because we did it last time and asked scouts some of their ideas. You're like, God, how are you going to do that? How are we going to do climbing in the scout hall? Actually, why don't we go out for a trip? So yeah, getting youth involved, and that's one of the big things that scouts are really pushing for. Alfie's in the building. Hey, Alfie, how you doing? Charlotte, our program we send out, but put in code so you don't know what you're going to do and make fun to turn them out. So interesting, my friend Terry, who I probably mention all the time, and you're probably getting bored of Terry. When I first started, I used to ask Terry for scout programs, and his son Sam was the scout leader who sent me these programs, and they were all, as you've just said, Charlotte, were in code. So I have no idea what they would do, and it would be interesting. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, program-wise. And it'd be in code, and I'll be sitting there going, I have no idea what they're doing. So I have to go back, ask Sam, what were you doing that night? Then he would explain to me. I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, maybe not giving everything away. I don't know. It's a real hard one. It's called a Cub Pack form. I can't think what they do it in Cubs. Yeah, Terry's agreed. Yes, talking code. Leo, we had a swimming with sharks this year put forward. It would be interesting to see the risk assessment for that. So, Leo, just thinking outside the spot, you can do swimming with sharks. You could go to scuba diving and have a taster night at scuba diving, and maybe one of the instructors dresses up as a shark. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box. What else can you do with swimming with sharks? I don't know. I'm sure there's something you could do with swimming with sharks, but I'm just saying, like you can do that. I'm just thinking, go do scuba diving test. Spaghetti Junction. Now, Spaghetti Junction could be many different things, couldn't it? I'm thinking top of my head, Spaghetti Junction could be spaghetti towers, making a tower with marshmallows and spaghetti. There's lots of things. Maybe you could do Spaghetti Junction spaghetti and doing knots. So you're cooking that spaghetti with the cold spaghetti and you're learning how to make knots. It's all code. It used to drive me insane. Ian, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Sea Life Center with shark encounters. Risk assessed already. Boom. You got there. Ian, you can do Liverpool Aquarium shark swimming. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah. Steve Bagshaw. He's a big animal thing. Maybe you could do something like that. I don't know. There's loads of things you can do. Put me on the spot because I can't think of. I'm trying to answer this question. Now we're trying to think about swimming with sharks. But I think, Arkayla, just going back to your question, it's not about you quitting. Maybe it's about you need to take a little bit of time out and just take a week off, take 2 weeks off holiday, and I don't know, or what can you do? You could be like, maybe come up here and sort out the scout hut or the shed or the craft cupboard or do some OSM or something. So don't let those young people make you want to quit scouts or cubs in your case. Maybe speak to the other leaders in your cub pack and ask them, hey, do you have a problem with these particular cubs? Because one, they're doing my head in. And often we do that in my scouts. Like there's one or two scouts that just want to wind you up or whatever. So ask your other peers for some advice. Maybe actually it is them and your other cub leaders are having the same problems, but they don't want to speak up. And then, as I said earlier on, go and speak to the parents, get the parents involved and just say, look, it's either they go or 3 or 4 leaders are going to go, and it's not going to be fun if we all go away. Let's go back to this one. Derek saying, I like a local scuba club have toy sharks and they throw in the pool. Yeah, absolutely, Derek. See, bingo, boom. Then you're swimming with sharks easily. Harold, here in Toronto, we have sleeping with the sharks, camping shark tunnel, Ripley's Aquarium. So they do that. I've seen that before in sea life centers and stuff like that, where you can sleep. Or you've got to be lucky, but you can sleep in the tunnel. The tunnel that walks through the aquarium, and you see the sharks going in. You can, if you're, I don't know how many sharks going to fit. How many cubs are going to fit in there? Maybe get 4 or 5 people under there. You could do that. I know in London, the Natural History Museum, you can do sleeping in the museum, and they've got skeletons, and I'm pretty sure they've got some shark skeletons, so you could go. You could do that. Yeah, that's a good question about sharks. And this is what I'm talking about, Leo. It's just about thinking outside the box, and we've just thrown some ideas. But going back to Arkela's question, I think I've answered it. And I know you're watching tonight or going to watch the rerun, and if I've answered your questions, brilliant. If I haven't, let me know, and I'll try and work out a little bit more. Right, Dan, there's a swimming pool in Riga, Poland, that has a fume that goes through a shark tank. Tried it when I was there this summer. Plan to take the scouts for a week in place in Poland in the future and visit. Yeah, I've probably seen. Well, I've seen lots of things on YouTube and in Dubai and all sorts of things in that. But yeah, that's brilliant. Sleeping with the fishes. Yeah, beautiful, lovely. So, okay, I think I've answered your question, and thank you for the other leaders who've been chipping in. I think that's the best advice, isn't it? We've got just to look at your program, maybe publish your program, maybe do what Sam done, was put the program out, but put it in code. And yeah, those cubs might just not be interested in your program. That could be it. That could be that. I don't know. That's my guess. Right, what is the time? It's coming up to 7 o'clock. That's cool. I had something else to show you, but I can't find it. New vlog this week is about should you allow your parents on your own personal social media. So say for me, a scout parent tries to add me on my own Facebook page. Do I allow them? So that's what I'm talking about in this week's vlog. If anyone is wanting to know. Harold, how about dealing with a scout level leader that won't even try skills camps or area camp? Suggestions? Harold, just need to finalize area camp. What do you mean by area camp? I just need to no, I haven't heard of that terminology. You don't know? It's where the 2027 World Scammetry is happening. That's brilliant. But Dan, I'm still in 2022. I don't even know what I'm doing next week, let alone in 5 years' time. But I guess we need to plan. Scott's in the house. Hey, Scott, how you doing, my Beaver leader? And if you saw my Instagram post yesterday or the day before with the AGM agenda on the whiteboard, that's Scott, my chairman. Actually, he's now not the chairman now. He's the Beaver leader. He stepped down this chair. Forgot to print out the AGM agenda and put it on a white table, camping table with a marker pen. Brilliant, love it. Good idea. Thankfully, he used the whiteboard marker, so I'm impressed. I might not have been impressed if it was the marker pen, but hey. Right, going back to Harold's question. I'm just going to be back in 10 seconds. They're just asking me to come down to Beavers. Let me just play a quick little be right back video. I'll be back in 10 seconds. And think about this. Boom, I'm back. As quick as that. So Harold is asking, how about dealing with scout level leader that won't even try skills camp or area camp? I'm not sure what area camp is. How is it? Maybe you call it council camp, multiple groups in an organized camp. I think council camp would be a district camp, if I'm right. I think that's what you mean. District camp. Yeah. Did you ever go to Space Invaders last week? Let me get back to that one. Area camp is a county camp. Okay. Oh wow, a county camp. I've never been to a county camp. We do district camps, but county camps. Okay, let me get your question back up. So how do you deal with a scout leader that won't even try skills camp or area camp? Suggestions. Okay, so there's a few options. There's a few things I need to know about this scout leader, Harold. One, are they new? Are they a new leader? Have they just recently joined? Because that might be different about they don't know what these camps are about. They just see a skills camp and they're like, what? So that could be one reason that they just generally don't know, or they don't know what they need to know. And that's one of the reasons about I did Big Bang in the Woods. Is like you don't know what you don't know until you need to know. Yeah. And those are the questions I've been trying to pose on Big Man in the Woods over the last kind of 2-3 years, is trying to answer those questions that people have asked or just don't know. I like that word, don't know. So the next question is, so we need to establish how experienced that leader are. So if they're new, that's easy. Just explain the camp. Are they an old scouter who's been in the district for hundreds of years, that trained with Baden Powell? Okay, so they've been in there for multiple years, just won't try. So maybe they just... There could be a whole lot of reasons for this, couldn't there, Harold? This could be a vlog that we could go on for hours talking about. So quick random things is that maybe they generally are not aware. They would be aware of it because camps, wouldn't they? Maybe they just don't know what those camps involve. Maybe they just seen it and it's one of those things like, yeah, right, whatever. And they kind of brush over it all the time. Oh, actually, anyone in the UK that can recommend a winter camp as nothing's happening for the young people at Gilmore Park? Dan, come back to that. Let me just save that one. I lost my question now. So yes, they're an old scouter. So, man, this is a difficult one, isn't it? Because I kind of know those scout leaders that you're probably hinting at, but I think those scouters that have been to those camps that don't go to the new camps. Let's just see. Andy's going to try and help me out on this one. You never stop learning. Even experts in the field learn new things every day as the world is ever changing. Yeah, man. It's the same in hospitals. We're trying new technology, things that sometimes work, sometimes don't work, but we're always evolving. We're always learning. But some people are stuck in their ways. And that phrase that's so dangerous is that we've always done it this way. We've always done it this way. We've heard it. We know there's leaders that say it. And people at work say it as well. But how do you get those people involved in that camp? That's what Harold's asking me. They've been in the district for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and they just don't want to do it. If they've been involved for kind of 40, 50 years, I don't think you're ever going to get to those scouters and get those to the camp. But maybe it's a scouter like me who's been in the movement for kind of 13, 14 years, 15 years, have seen most things, kind of knows a bit of that. But they won't go to that camp. How would you get me involved? And that I've been that scout where I'm like, I just can't be asked to go to that camp. Whatever. Dan is saying, can they go as a day visitor? If they see how it's run and the young people get out of it, they may want to be part of it next time. So I think in this one, Dan, it's not a camp for young people. This is a skills day from what I'm gathering. So it's a district event to teach new skills, to update you. That's my interpretation of it. Maybe it is kind of like a mini county jamboree where there's a whole lot of different activities and stuff going on. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe Harold couldn't expand. But yeah, I love that idea of getting them down just for the day, just walking them around. Maybe they're not involved. Maybe they're not a participant. This is youth and leaders. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think Dan's idea is absolutely brilliant. And it might have hit the nail on the head. Is that the answer? Expression. So yeah, maybe get them along and say, actually, you're not going to be part of the cohort. We're not going to take around the bases, but we're going to walk around the bases and show you what happens and see it from the outside, and maybe have a little taster session and stuff like that. Maybe you could do something like that and just get them along and show it and offer a cheap bar, not a young. This is a youth camp as well, so this is a no alcohol camp. Karen saying our county camp is back next year with Camp Together around the world over the May bank holiday. A lot of activities are proven. It's a great camp, and you can dip into an activity for a short time slot during the day weekend. That's cool. That sounds brilliant. Invite me, Karen. I want to come. Email me. Get me along. Get me on. I'd love to go there. See, I think actually Dan's answer could be the actual answer. Just invite them along as a day participant and just see what activities are involved. And Howard is saying, my impression is he thinks he knows it all. Yeah, and we know those people, and I work with those people, and then you test them, and then they realize actually maybe I don't know everything, and I should know certain things. But there's always those adults, isn't it? They think they know everything, and I don't know everything. I'm first one to kind of say actually I don't know how to do it. And at Bush Scout, I'm like, knots, I can't do knots, I can't teach knots, I'm never going to know knots. I've tried to learn knots, but then there are other leaders. My old GSL, who was the same, who knew everything, hated the district, hated the county. My group was never allowed to participate in district events. And if I went behind his back as a scout leader and did go and take those district events, I would know about it. You know, he wasn't very happy about it. So I know those leaders who think they know everything. And those guys, it's a really hard one, Harold. Perhaps take it as we understand that you're not keen, but you can help us see where we're missing skills, and maybe next time run a base or help to run a base. But why do I need to help run a base? I think that's going to be their answer, isn't it? That's not for me. I don't want to do it. Harold, that's a really good question, and I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to have to come back to it because I don't know the actual answer to that. Are there any skills they do have that can share with others? Yes, that could be another way around it, Clive, getting them involved with a skill that they think. But then some of those leaders don't have an actual in-depth skill. Maybe they are one of those people that know a little bit of everything, but not in a lot of detail. And if you're making them run a base, some people are going to ask questions. You know, I'll just pick up a random tent, say a tent peg, say you're doing whittling, and they've always done it a knife, a technique in one way, whittling way, and it's dangerous, but that's the way they do it, and they can't see it another way. Maybe that's a dangerous thing, isn't it? If they know a little bit of everything, but not a lot in detail, those leaders are quite dangerous. I don't know. I would probably go with what Dan is saying and just getting them as a day visitor and walk around the bases and seeing what that camp's about. If I think of anything else, Howard, I'm definitely going to message you and share my ideas. But I think this one has stumped me. I might have to go to my mentors and ask them because I'm sure they've been in that position. You know, they've been there, done that kind of thing. No, but it's a great one. Howard, never be sorry. Don't be sorry. I hate when people apologize for that kind of thing. And asking a silly question. There's never a silly question. Do you know what I mean? Kit Rock ran a firelighting session at Scouts last night. Had a new scout just come off from Scouts, complaining he was bored because he can't do anything with fire. Turns out his dad is a blacksmith. Yes, it's a hard one, isn't it? You know, I kind of get your frustration, and I can kind of see it from both ways, isn't it? Yeah, it's really these things make it a bit more difficult, isn't it? And sometimes you have to think outside the box when doing standard firelighting. Maybe he could. I don't know. Why am I getting these questions right at the end of my vlog? I need to create a list of these questions, awesome questions, and then each week answer them, because that's another really good question from Kit. Is about how would you answer that? I don't know, guys. Unfortunately, it is just come out to 7:10. It's just gone past 7:10. I've got to get ready for Scouts tonight. Doing first aid. I've got to top up my brew, have a quick bite to eat, and then that's it. Back to Scouts. Next week, I won't be here. I'm not going to be here next week at Scouts because I'll be at Beavers teaching them, funny enough, firelighting. So there'll be no live vlog next Thursday, but I'll try and do something maybe Friday night or over the weekend or something like that. It would be quite cool. And then, yeah, it'll be brilliant. Whatever you're doing, guys, have a great week at Scouts. And if you are part of Greater London Middlesex West, don't forget that is that Diwali event next Sunday. And hopefully I will see you there. Whatever you're doing, stay safe and happy camping. See you later, guys.